This is Dion coming to you again, live from E4LA in Los Angeles. I've got John with me here. He's the marketing director for the U.S. here. I'm going to go ahead and try and get a little interview with him. Hey, John, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing really well, Dion. How are you?
So what exactly does your job entail here?
You know, my job in the U.S. entails largely talking with the press, talking with the media, and also doing what I can do to further the business development aspects of Entropia.
Very sweet, very sweet. So what do you think MindArc's doing here in the U.S., or what is MindArc doing here in the U.S. to promote more advertising?
Well, you know, I mean, this is one of the big things that we're doing. You've seen the booth, and you've seen how much MindArc has put into that. They had this booth at Leipzig. We're going to be here. We're going to be at CES. We've got another thing coming up in March in San Francisco. And one of the most consistent experiences I've had here at this conference is people walking in and looking at that booth.
It's huge.
And just going, wow. And then they watch for a while, and they don't see any names that they recognize, and they don't know what's going on. And then I tell them what Entropia Universe is, and we're the only people with a real cash economy and the whole Entropia story. And people are like, why haven't I heard of this before? You know, and I think it's been largely, I think on Entropia's side, you know, if you have 10,000 people join in a day or a week, it kind of throws things off. So Entropia has grown very organically, but now they're at the point where they're ready to handle a much larger influx of people, and getting the word out here in the U.S. is what I'm up to. So I think that right now it breaks down about 40% U.S., 40% European, and about 20% everywhere else. And that's with no one in the U.S. really having heard of this in general. You know, there are people, 40% from the U.S., but that's with no marketing and very little, I'd say, relatively word of mouth about Entropia going on here. So I think you're going to see a big influx over the next year or so from the U.S., and I think that's good for everybody.
It is huge for everybody. The people, there's just an amazingly large amount of people right here right now. I'll try and get more of the video of the whole stand for you guys in a little bit. One last question before we go, John. Do you play yourself?
I do.
How often do you play?
You know, I not as much as I'd like, but I'm in there usually, you know, once a week or so.
Right.
You know? But you're going to be seeing more of me as well, you know, in there.
Right on. What's your biggest hoff?
You know, I haven't hoffed yet, dude. That's what a noob I am.
Hey, you know what? I just talked to Lars earlier today. He hasn't hoffed either. If you guys know who Lars is, he's one of the original three. Anyhow, I'd like to thank you for your time, John.
My pleasure.
Hey,
my pleasure, John. What do you think of the tie?
The tie is wonderful. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, look at that tie.
This is my signature tie.
All right. Once again, coming to you live from E4All in LA. Talk to you guys later.